we now come to UBA and PAM, right? What's your take on user behavior analytics, and what is the need and how does it help currently?
In an enterprise like ours, where about 3,000, 4,000 people log into our application day in and day out, right? It's humanly not possible to keep auditing what each person is doing on the applications, on the infrastructure, etc. Right? It's not humanly possible. That's the reason where we need to have solutions, the logs available for us to audit as well as alert proactively whenever such breaches happen. Right? I've always tell my team that a reactive approach is not the game, right? You have to be proactive in terms of getting it. People when call up and say, "Arey, this system is not working or this breach has happened," that's a reactive approach. It will not help you solve problems. You have to be proactive in terms of ensuring every step of the way in the whole enterprise is every step like applications, network, infrastructures. Everything is properly audited, documented, processed, so that you get your peace of mind, right? So that analytics of every user, what he or she is doing, has to be audited, logged, and an audit happens quite frequently.
True. So you very clearly define as to why we need it, for what purposes it helps, and everything. If we talk about UBA in general, how big do you think it's going to grow in the next few years?
I think it's a huge industry as organizations grow, as organizations build their application and their IT portfolio. It's a huge industry to be in. I'm sure from a applications or a solutions perspective, I think there are a lot of interesting solutions coming up in the market, which can employ or can propagate that professions to happen in the future.
True. Okay. Now, Dr. Naresh, the privilege access management piece is something that goes hand in hand with UBA. Now, how critical is it to employ PAM solutions for an organization along with UBA?
Very, very, very critical. As I said, privileges again. We started off way back in a role-based access model where we know which role access to what, right? But it's grown up to a stage where everything is documented, everything is privileged, is approved by their respective bodies, right? And there's a process in place within the organization to ensure everybody gets access to what they want to do, they have supposed to do, but in a secure manner.
True. Okay. All right. Now, there are a host of IT standards, right, such as PCI DSS, HIPAA, ISO 27001, and the regulations of GDPR, among are many other regulations as mandated by governments and central banks, explicitly ask for role and rule-based access, multi-factor authentication, password vaulting, etc. So many of them, right, to protect data. Now, why is so much weightage given on PAM by these standards?
You're talking about, data is a new oil, right? That's the way we start off with, right? It's just not breaking your enterprise, but accessing data which is there for us to use. A lot of industries would want such data, right? That's the reason I think because of data, these solutions have come up, these standards have come up. Well, I would say in healthcare IT, the standards such as, there are a lot of standards for us to employ. As far as security is concerned, the GDPRs or the HIPAAs of the world are kind of, from Western world perspective, right? While there are people who have such, applicability in India, I think Indian specific standards are evolving at this stage, right? The government has come up with such guidelines which we need to employ. I'm sure in the next 1 or 2 years, we would have Indian specific standard also we need to employ.
True. I think, that should be one stop that Indians should be looking at getting to. True. Now, with remote working, how significant is the single sign-on platform?
It's a challenge where every organization has faced. Not so in healthcare, because healthcare, I don't think a lot of people are allowed to work from home. We are a hospital where we have to be in the hospital to provide care to patients, right? But as far as the concept is concerned, we need to be sure in terms of Naresh as a person has access to 20-30 applications in the enterprise. If Naresh leaves, we should know which all applications that Naresh has access to, right? If Naresh doesn't access the system in 3-4 days, they should be alert within the enterprise, say that let's check why Naresh is not accessing the systems, right? As a concept, single sign-on has to be implemented. where it depends on when do we do it.
Well, that brings us towards the end of the UBA and the PAM section.